Welcome to Devon Dragon Radio. I'm your host, M.L.Ruscsak. I'm here with special guest, Mark Smith. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Now, by the looks of your website, you're into the motivational speaking, coaching, and getting people out of their heads.
That's right. And that's always been a passion. I always tell people, I didn't pick this career field. This field picked me. So I just had a drive, especially later in life, of uplifting people. You know, sometimes I feel we live in a society or a world that always frowns upon different things and depicts negativity. But within that negativity, or within those, I like to say, storms, there's positive messages that we all can get out of that.
Exactly. We can find a positive in any negative situation if we look at the situation as a life lesson.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote The Process, because I chronicle not only my everyday walk or my everyday journey through life, but just as the same as everybody else. We all have great days. We all have bad days. But the challenge is, what can we pull out? What is that bad day trying to teach me? Is it teaching me patience? Is it teaching me? It's definitely teaching me perseverance. But is it teaching me more than that I can capitalize on and use not only to build my legacy at a later date? So it's so key to drive home on that mindset versus the woe was me mindset.
It is. Now, what is the key point that led you to this?
Wow. Self-reflection. You know, I had there's an old saying, and I'm sure all of our listeners have heard it. It is, if I only knew then what I know now. And I got tired of I want to say, being like a hamster on the wheel. I got tired of not embracing who I was and what it needed to be. And it through the evolution of life, I'll go back to, you know, the fact that I've lost jobs before. What was I supposed to learn with that? I've had failed relationships before. What was I supposed to learn with that? And it just got to a point back in 2018 where I said, enough is enough. Mark, you are a wealth of knowledge. You have a wealth of experience. And more importantly, you've been surrounded over your course of your life with individuals who have those same things that have gone on. You need to take a moment, step out of being selfish and be selfless, and start to write about those things, start to talk to people about them, and become dialogue to where everybody says, hey, wait a minute, I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through it with a smile, and I am going to help somebody else along the way.
That is the great why. Now, were you finding your why? Who are your mentors to get you from 2019 to 2022?
Well, I got to go back and think of every message that I heard. You know, I just finished a series not too long ago called Procrastination, the Thief of Time. And I closed it with a message called Legacy. And those that know me or have listened to what I write about, or my speeches and podcasts, I use acronyms to break down almost everything. So that last one was Legacy. Leaders exemplify greatness among choices over the years. So I talked about how my little league coach, John Mollison, took us as youngsters to not teach us about X's and O's in football, but about what it takes to be a man, what it takes to be a father, what it takes to be a good husband. Then I transitioned and talked about, you know, how my very first job was clearing out a path in an old vacant field that turned into a walking trail for everybody to enjoy in Reynoldsburg, Ohio. And there was a gentleman right in that area, Mr. Winston, who taught us to challenge, embrace a challenge. Embrace the fact that everything's not going to be easy, but there is a clear path, which is what we do. And then I switched over and talked about my principal, my high school principal, and how he envisioned us that on time means you're late. Dress for the job that you want, not for the job that you have. So those types of individuals that I surround myself with or mentored, they had subliminal messages all the way through that have said, Mark, you're supposed to take yourself to another level. You're supposed to help people along the way to get to that level. But more importantly, don't be selfish anymore. Be selfless. Write about it, talk about it, let everybody make it okay.
Right. Now let's go back a little bit because we can relate this to our listeners a little bit. You did a path. You were in a vacant field. I'm sure there's sticks, stones, everything. If anyone's been in a walking path anywhere, at one point the sticks, stones, and everything else has to be taken away, right? So if you look at the metaphor, you're
Mhm.
actually physically did this. But if you look at it in your life, the sticks and stones and debris and everything else that's in the path, that's your challenges that we face every day.
Absolutely. You think about one of the analogies you talked about was moving it. See, we wheelbarrow. We had to dig it,
Mhm.
grab it, put it inside of a tarp, pick it up, and throw it away. That's what we do in life. We are taking the things that are bottling us up, the things that are in our path in life, and we're digging them, putting them in something, and then throwing it away. I like the analogy light bag versus heavy bag.
Mhm.
And when I think about a light bag, most people think about it. Some people think of the boxing analogy. Some people think of just a bag itself. Excuse me. But
Mhm.
I think about it as that heavy bag is all that stuff that we've had in our life that we continue to carry on with us no matter where we go, no
Mhm.
matter where we end up. And a lot of people don't remember that not only affects you, it affects those that are around you. Then there's that heavy bag, that other option to where we've let all that stuff go. We've pulled it out. Just like in that trail that we built, we
Mhm.
removed all that debris. That's the same thing that we do that we're called to do in life. We're not called to hold on to those things. We're called to remove those things that are there that have been placed in front of us so there is a path not only for us but for our legacy.
Exactly. And if you take the metaphor to a person walking trash past a trash bag, we all seen this cartoon somewhere because it's all over social media. The person dragging their trash bag and they wake up one day and throw the trash in the trash can. You
Mhm.
don't take all your negative experience and drag them around with you. You learn what you can from them and then you get rid of it. You don't have to carry it with you through life.
That's the thing that I think is so it's powerful for all of us because we don't have to. That's the thing. We do not have to carry that with us, and it requires making a change. And I've always felt that sometimes we don't make the changes until the change of staying the same is greater than the change than making a change.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes sitting still, sitting comfortable, just relaxing, those things can still be adding to that trash bag, can
Mm-hmm.
be adding to that heavy bag, can be adding to the next field that needs to be cleared out. So it's always about assessing where you are and trying to grow to be the best that you can be. And again, I can't continue to emphasize enough, what are we doing to carry somebody else with us? Because that's
Right.
what it's about. It's not about, we have to lose that mentality of what happens when we get there, because we're always going to be a work.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff, we got stuff that's sitting at us on our shoulders probably right now, but we're going to continue to push through because we know others are dependent on us to make it happen and get them through.
I get that all the time. We can take our experiences from childhood to today. We
Mm-hmm.
can then add to our experiences that our ancestors, our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, whoever we grew up with, added to our bag. So we have all this we take with us. We don't have to do that.
Absolutely. I always close each one of my messages with a simple statement that one day I was just journaling, and I said,
Mhm.
Mark, what is it? What is it? Why are you doing what you're doing? What is it about this that's going to kind of move you to help move somebody else to the other level? And I came up just with a statement, and I always say your why is greater than your situation, which is part of your process. So understanding, that if you stand still in your storms, you're understanding who you are. You're understanding your why. If you sit back and kind of assess the things that you have gone through and where you are now, you'll see that you've made it. You're a champion through all those trials and tribulations. And then you really figure out why am I doing this? What catapults me? What do I have to turn around and give back and give to people because I understand my why. And then to know that it's greater than my situation, greater than any trial or tribulation that I go through. And it's part of my process because the process of growth is tough, 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 but we all have to go through it. And there's not one person that doesn't go through it at all.
You cannot not go through growth. It's impossible. You have to grow. You grow every day. It's changing every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch this radio show all the time, the one question I asked, it doesn't matter if you're an author, motivational speaker, entrepreneur, major CEO of a company, what is your why? It's always about the why.
Mm-hmm. It has to be. And then I use that word growth a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I even in the second series of the process, which was entitled The Perfect Storm, I focused hard on growth because, there was a series of events that occurred during my life, during my process, and still process that epitomizes growth.
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell everybody that growth is truly a gradual reminder obstacles will test hope.
What
That's
were some of those tribulations that were to your growth?
wow. Taking the opportunity to relocate from a city and town that I grew up in to go 1,900 miles away where I knew nobody. I knew nothing. I had less than $300 in my pocket, and I had two children, two young boys, 4 and 5, that were dependent on me. That's how you have to find out. I found out who I was. I found out that Mark was stronger than what Mark thought he was. And Mark was doing it not only for his kids, but for himself. Then I would say other opportunities, again, when I had an opportunity to from Washington, D.C. area. So you go from another comfort zone to someplace to where it's moving. There's no nonsense. There's no time for everything. Everybody's moving and getting and going on. To the loss of perhaps my best friend, which was my dad. To loss of good friends inside of high school, gentlemen who, as from my recollection and my knowledge, who they've never done anything wrong. It was just their time to go.
Mm-hmm.
So there've been so many things that made me question, but realize what my why truly was to help me continue to grow.
That we all go through this. We all go through losing a loved one. We all go through losing those best friends. We all go to moving from one house that you're comfortable in. It could be your childhood home to 2 blocks down the way to 2,000 miles away. It just a different setting. It doesn't matter how far, it's a different setting. We all go through this. We can all relate to this. We
Mhm,
all grow this way.
mhm. But you know what I found out, and it took me years to find this out, or I don't want to say find out. I knew it took me years to accept the fact that whether it was Ohio, whether it was Arizona, whether it was California, whether it was Texas, whether it's DC, your purpose is still your purpose.
Mhm.
You're built, designed to do the things that you were called to do from the very beginning. It's about accepting where you are and who you are. And sometimes that's tough. I mean, I had my bouts with it. I was, they say that you rock bottom's a great foundation. It's a
Mhm.
perfectly well foundation. You are. Looking in your own mirror is a great tool to realize, and accept the fact that, hey, I'm okay. I'm a pretty darn good person that's set and ready to go to reach new levels. So, but we convoluted it. And I didn't see that then, but I see it now. Now, I always tell everybody a lot of people can see, but not many have vision. So what I'm telling them again is that think ahead. Think about and embrace what's going on right now. Embrace those situations and know that there's something there. There's
Mhm.
something that's impacting you and it's something that's going to move you to other levels.
Right. We all have a want to be in a better place than what we are. This is a want that's a basic need for many individuals. Doesn't matter if you are living in a mansion or in a trailer.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. We all want something better. But what is your drive to get that something better?
That man, that my drive personally, my drive is what I talked about in is legacy. It's so important for me to the challenges is establishing greatness over the choices that I make over the years.
Mhm.
Being able to be an example, not only to my grandbabies now, I have grandkids, but being an example to society itself, to let them see that, hey, if that Mark Smith has gone through trials and tribulations. Mark Smith didn't quit. Did he want to quit? Absolutely. It came into my mind. I can't lie about that. But what pushed me not to quit was the fact that I knew that there was gonna be something. It had to be something that I was supposed to learn out of this. It had to be something that was going to continue to make me a better man, a better son, a better eventually a better husband. It had to be something in all these elements in my life to allow me to get to where I'm going. And again, I'm a work in progress. I'm still climbing. I'm still climbing to get to where I need to go.
I mean, you reach an age and you think this is as far as I can get to. That's not necessarily the end of the road. You choose to stay there and you get stuck.
Mhm.
We see
Oh,
this with their grandparents.
mhm. Absolutely, and I know my father. Again, my father retired early.
Mhm.
He retired at like 60 years old, and unfortunately, he passed at 62 years old. But I've always said, and I've always been taught that comfort is really a casualty of growth. So I have to take into my own mind, where do I want? Am I happy at this level,
Mhm.
or can I continue to put, or can I? Is there more for me to do? And I close my eyes every night and I always think about the four agreements by Don Ruiz. And have I been impeccable to my word today? Yes, no, Mark. Yeah, it's simple. Have I taken things personal? There's been days that I have. Again, I'm a work in progress. Did I make assumptions? Yeah, I did. I probably should have asked for clarification over confrontation. But more importantly, did I give my best? Did I, at the end of the day, when I close my eyes, well, before I close my eyes, I better kiss my wife, right? So when I kiss my wife, I kiss my wife and close my eyes, I have to answer that question. Did I give my best? Did I really give it all through everything that I did, for every person that I came in contact with every phone call that I was on today, with every Zoom meeting, with every encounter at the gas station, at the store? Did I help try to impact somebody and make this a great day? And if I can answer that yes, then I have one of the best sleeps at night. If I answer that question no, then I know that there's more for me to do that next day. And I'm quite honestly, there's a lot, there's just as many no's as there is yeses. So that's driving me to continue to do the work that I do.
Yeah, you can't lie to yourself. You can lie to the world, but you can't lie to yourself. And when you take
That's
self
right.
accountability like that, you
Mhm.
learn what you need to focus on to grow yourself, not so much grow your paycheck or grow your house or grow your income. What do you need to grow as a person? Are you helping someone around you be happy?
And one of the things I always talk about as well is I just talked about the foundation, or talk about a foundation,
Mhm.
and along with those four agreements, I ask myself as well: have I been accountable all day? Have I been accountable to not only others, but am I accountable to myself? Am I fulfilling what I'm truly called to do? Am I doing these things with integrity? Am I, doing the things that I'm supposed to do when others aren't watching? Can I say that? Can I hang my hat off and say that? Am I being responsible? Am I truly being responsible, a good steward of everything that I have and everything that I'm giving? Am I doing that? And am I doing it in a level of respect? Am I being respectful at all times? See, we live in a society that sometimes I believe, again, I'm not gonna say I'm older, I'm wiser. Okay. I'm not gonna throw that old out there. I'm wiser.
You're
And
wiser.
yeah, and I believe that sometimes that's truly lost. That's a truly lost effort, or truly lost venue, is respect from man to man, woman to woman. And if I can answer myself and say that that is something that I'm doing again every single day, then
Mhm.
I'm winning. I'm winning, and I'm helping others win along the way.
Right. It doesn't mean you have to go out and donate money to everyone. Are you donating a smile that costs you nothing? Are
Mhm,
you donating open a door for someone that you don't know?
mhm,
You know,
mhm,
it's just a small little gesture. Are you being a jerk to someone that you really don't need to be a jerk to? They don't know you. You just ran past them randomly.
mhm.
Now, take that being a jerk instead of being, oh, I'm in a mood right now, and check yourself, smile, and have a nice day.
Absolutely. I ask my wife laugh and talk about it, and she'll tell a story all the time.
Mhm.
She'll say, I asked her years ago, I said, so why did you fall in love with me? What is it about me that made you want to be involved as well as us to get married? She said, because of your heart, because of your heart. I've always been the type of person to, if it was an elder that was walking to the car to load their groceries, or they needed help with something, I would disappear from her and I would go help them load their cart. I would be the one that would go, and if something was at the top of the shelf and I see that they couldn't reach it, I'd circle around the aisle, help them and get it. So giving back to those individuals, helping those individuals, or anybody, is
Mhm.
what we're truly called to do. Because again, it's selfless. You said
Mhm.
it's selfless. It's not selfish. It's selfless. And as soon as we embrace that, truly embrace that, then we will see our own growth, the levels that we have in life move to different levels.
Exactly. It's all about helping those around you. Helping those around you can be as simple as getting something off the shelf for them,
Mhm.
opening a door, helping them put their groceries in their car, helping them through the door if they're walking with a cane and it's snowing. Just something little, just simple little things.
And we laugh and talk a lot with some of the individuals who I actually facilitate with and facilitate for. The last I just finished a big event, and sat down and was talking to some gentlemen at the table, and I said, "Do you really believe that life is simplistic?" I asked them that question, and they said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Do you realize that all the things that we truly need are within our side ourselves? We have the power and the control to leave people bitter or leave people better. We have the power and control to control the thoughts we think and the actions we take. We have done, and me included, have convoluted that process, the process of simplicity in life, by bringing other things in, by allowing other negative influences to come in, to listening to think that we are bigger than what we should be, to not really focusing in on what is truly of value to your family, to your community, to this world. Life is always meant to be simplistic. And they looked at me like, Mark, you're right. I said, and that's what we need to do. We need to go back, dial back for a few minutes, and give each one of us an opportunity to exercise that. So,
We do, and we need to take that lesson and start with our children,
mhm.
because that's where it all starts when we start convoluting things. You know, we get the on in school bullying now,
Mhm.
and we're just not feeling the need. We're making people bitter instead of making people better.
Mhm. Mhm. There's a young man that just in the Maryland area. And there was a young man who went missing in January. I just saw it the other day because his father was in the last group that I spoke to. They found him like a couple of days ago. He had been beaten. He had been bullied,
Mhm.
first of all, and then they found his body a couple of days ago. And the thing about one thing that his mom said that sticks out to me is she said that I truly hope and pray that my son's death, although it was untimely, although it was unnecessary, I hope this sends a message to our world to our youth, to
Mhm.
to our state, that we need to truly come together. There's nothing that we can't go through, or nothing that we can't go through that dialogue can't take care of. There's no need to be envious of anybody. There's no need to be have jealousy of anybody. There is nothing there that anybody else should want to do but to come together and work together to reach a common goal. And when I heard that, I picked up the phone, and of course I called and gave my condolences. But I asked her, I said, that was one of the most heartfelt, best things that anybody could have said.
Mhm.
Because you identified a message that we all are talking about. We're all talking about how can we get from this level to this level in a common way. And what is it going to take? I'm sorry, everybody's sorry that this young man, 17-year-old boy, everybody's sorry that he had to pass away. And it just, my heart still hurts for that family because he's a great kid. But I also know that that great kid is going to his spirit is
Yeah,
going to live.
his
It
spirit, his legacy is
is
going
going.
to
Mm-hmm,
better someone else.
absolutely, absolutely.
Unfortunately, we see these in so many places here in the US where our children are bullied or pushed to the extreme.
Mm-hmm,
They don't feel empowered to talk about it, and something happens and they take their life, or someone else takes their life for them. We have to
absolutely.
come together and grow and actually have open dialogue
Mm-hmm.
and take care of this.
Absolutely. I did a youth conference about 7 months ago, and I remember having those young men and women sit there and ask them, "What is it that you truly believe is the most important thing to you?"
Mhm.
And from a 16-year-old down to a 14-year-old, a universal message for them was they want to be heard. And I said, "Well, okay, I'm old school, young men and women. So what do you mean you want to be heard? Can you kind of specify a little bit more?" I said that, I want the fact that our plans or our views and the suggestions that we make to help our nation grow will be better. And I know I took that back to the guys and gals who were there at the training and the training, excuse me, the conference director. And I said, this is what these young men and women are saying. What other message can we do as adults to help get their voice out there? Because they're talking the same thing we are. They're just talking it in a way that they want it to be understood. So they sat and talked about it. So what they're proposing to do is, and hopefully we will see these commercials start to run a little bit. The L&N production started to film some of these youngsters, and then they're going to start to have an opportunity to express and talk about unity, talking about the fact that they want everybody to come together to help build a society, help build a nation that is going to be built off of unity, helping each other, respect, accountability, and integrity.
How many of our youth actually has this message and we as adults are not hearing it? Our
Mm-hmm.
children are very smart. They really are. We need
Mm-hmm.
to start listening because they have ideas how to better our world.
Absolutely. I always laugh and talk about, if any medicine bottle, it's not childproof, it's adult proof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the kids can get to it, the kids can open it. So yeah, their voice is definitely powerful, and that is the future. I mean, we can't ignore it. We have to embrace it. We have to bring them along. We have to set examples. Like leaders exemplify greatness among choices over the years. We have to set the examples as parents, as young adults, as brothers and sisters, aunts, uncles. We got to set that example, because guess what? They're going to take this torch of messages and information that we give them, and they're going to turn society bitter or better.
Exactly. My daughter, when she was 7, 8 years old, taught me economics. Okay, think about this. My child doesn't know anything about economics, as an adult thinking, but she's teaching me in a way that makes sense to her. And actually, if it was implemented in the adult world, would be so much better.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They
My
are that smart.
They are unbelievably smart, and it's a gift. You know, it is a gift. I hope our parents would say that we were that smart. I
Mhm.
doubt my mom might might buy into that statement, but they are truly at a level that is beyond comprehension, and they're only going to get smarter. You know, our grandkids, our great grandkids, are only going to take this world to another level. And I just hope that again that they have the foundation. I hope that they continue to be able to see information that was done before them, their
Mhm.
grandparents, elder individuals who are doing things the right way, and they can take that and emulate it. Because at the end of the day, they're going to they're going to follow and emulate someone. So let's just hope it's the ones us that are doing the right things.
Yes, we need them to do the right thing. We also need them to see what happens when you do things the wrong way.
Hmm.
They need those lessons. If you do something wrong, this is the consequence. This is what has happened in the past. Now, if
Hmm.
you do it the right way, this is where we can move to.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to work. I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to work. The messages, the statements, we will get to a level to where everything will cycle around to be the best that it can be. I truly believe that.
We will get there one way or
Hmm.
another. We
Hmm.
as a society will get there.
Hmm. My dad used to say, "It's not if, it's when."
Mhm.
It's not if you get it, when you get it, and we'll get it. We truly will
We
get
will
it.
get it. It may take another generation, maybe two, but
Hmm.
we will get there.
Hmm. Yes, we will. I have no doubt.
But we are almost out of time. So, where can our listeners and our viewers find you and connect with you?
Absolutely. They can actually, again, go to my website, theprocessmarksmith.com. They can actually find any one of my messages. I'm into my sixth series of the process, which is called If I Only Knew Then What I Know Now. You can hear that on Spotify. You can hear it on Anchor. You can hear it on Pandora, iHeartRadio, all of those, as well as you can follow me on Facebook under The Process Mark Smith, Instagram under Within Your Process, and LinkedIn under Mark Smith. Send me a message. Again, I am so want to dialogue and help individuals grow. I say grow forward, not go forward. Grow forward to be the best that they can be. And again, my door is open and love to have an opportunity to chit chat with anybody to help them reach their goals.
This has been a wonderful, wonderful talk. And thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
And for all of our listeners and our viewers, happy growing.